All right, welcome to the Relentless Game, turning life's chaos into power. That's what we're going to talk about today. Really, is like I think a lot of guys are in chaos in their life, and a big piece of what we do inside of the our initial program. So I guess that's the piece that we should really cover is like we've got a method of what we're doing and why we're doing what we're doing. So phase one, when a guy comes in, I don't care where they are physically. Our first thing is we want to start getting them and we want to optimize them physically to start just feeling better, because more energy, feeling better, eating better foods, getting better sleep, having a better evening routine and a morning routine. All these start to make us not only feel better, but mentally improve as well. So like my when a guy comes in and starts working with us, and we call it the Game 180, phase one, I'm turning him over to Christian to work on fitness and nutrition. But then we start to work on mentally. That's going to fitness and nutrition. That's going to help routine. That's going to help us mentally as well as physically. But then we'll also start getting in the Bible, getting men in the Bible every day and doing the Bible stack. That starts, I mean, it's proven, like men that get in the Bible on a daily basis, how their life just changes when they're not looking at porn. They're at least quit all these different habits that they used to have. So we're getting in there because like now you can get in the Word and you can find something you need to start, stop, or sustain, and find wisdom from the Word that you can put into play. And then having a core four, having a morning routine. And like I was talking to Josh McGee yesterday, one of our newer clients, and core four is very, very basic stuff. It's just like most men, they need to have a gamification way of seeing that they're making results and they're doing the work. And a lot of guys don't have that. They have it either mentally or they have it either physically by checking the scale and see what the scale says, or going to their bank account and seeing how much money they have in their bank account. And that's really the only two ways that they track any kind of progress. So let's talk about that. We get a brand new guy in. I send him over to you and I say, Christian, here's John Doe. Like that?
Yep.
And he's struggling. Like, what are you going to do? How are you going to first get him set up, and what's that going to look like?
Yeah, so I'm really just going to get clear on what is he currently doing. If he's and for the most part, these guys, they're here for a reason, right? They're not working out, they're not eating right, they're just lost, and they don't have any idea what they need to do. So I'm going to get clear with, okay, what do you have access to? You got body weight and bands, perfect. I'm going to build a plan around that. But really, all that I'm doing is setting up something where you're working towards something every single day. And it's basic. We're not going from, oh, this is all you got? Okay, well, you're going to do these 10 tasks first thing in the morning whenever you get up. In the middle of the day, I want you to take a break. I want you to work out for an hour. Oh, and then at night before you go to bed, we're going to do this cardio that you got to do before it. Like, we're not doing all that stuff. It's basic. They're almost like, bro, this is all you want me to do? Like, yes, man, because this is sustainable. Because what we do as men, we go from 0 to 100 real quick. And we go, man, I'm not doing anything. I know I need to do something. I'm going all in and I'm doing all this. And what it leads to, and I'm sure a lot of these guys can relate to this, is burnout. You start doing something, it's not sustainable from the get-go. And so you start doing it and you're just completely burnt out and you can't sustain it. So all we're doing is I set them up like 3 or 4 daily tasks every single day. We get them set up on the app. It's easy to track. You hit yes or no whether you did it. And if it's something where I want you plugging in, your protein or just a basic thing, you're just typing in a few numbers, boom, I did this every day. And then I'm asking questions daily as well. So it's the best coaches ask you questions. And so basically what I'm doing, me asking them these questions, they start to figure it out in their mind too. They're like, oh man, I wasn't doing this. Okay, so then you're starting to reflect on the day that you had. That way at the end of the night, it's not like you're just going day to day. At the end of the night, you reflect, you go, okay, what progress did I make today? Did I check off my daily task? Boom, I did. And with that, once you start checking off those daily tasks every day, that starts to create some momentum in your life. Then we can start to build it out from there. But I make you earn it. You can't just, if you can't even follow these few simple things, I'm not giving you a strength training program that's customized to you. I'm not giving you a nutrition sheet that's customized all to you. We've got to earn these things, but we got to show that we can stick to that before we can stick to anything that's even more complex. So it's basic. We start them out very basic, and then we just start to build it up from there.
So physically, they start with very, very basic things.
Yep. Steps
and nutrition.
Yep.
Body and physically and nutrition. They're starting out with very, very basic things, and you said that it's gamified so they can measure it.
Yep.
What I said when we first started this was like Game 180 is a physical and a mental program to get you just pivoting from the direction that you're going and going in the opposite direction. Physically, if you're tracking how many steps you get in, if you're tracking how many grams of protein you're eating, if you're tracking whatever it is, the workout that you did or whatever it is that you accomplish, your mind is the happiest when it's making progress. So mentally, yeah, we're seeing progress, and so our mind's happy. But physically, we're also feeling the benefits of that as well. And we start to, like you said, you start to gain some momentum. And then once that momentum gets going, then that starts to lead to motivation because you start seeing results. Like it's nice, like obviously that I just hired we're in week 4 that I hired a fitness and nutrition coach. And, I got individuals saying, hey, they're like seeing some great results, like seeing your results, man. It's like, I'm just like, do the work. Like, I put in the work and I don't really even think about the result side of it. It's just doing it. And because I'm just like what our clients is like, my mind's the happiest. And I'm like, hey, I'm making this progress. But then hearing others say like, hey, dude, I'm seeing progress. That's another way that your mind is happy. Because now it's like, somebody else is, motivation, and other people are seeing your labor, and you're starting to realize it. You show awareness, and awareness precedes change. Now we're doing very, very basic workouts that we're doing, depending on where the client's at.
For sure.
Nutrition wise, we're doing very, very basic stuff, depending on where the client's at, and we're moving them across from the Game to 180. To go into more of what we call the focus game is next. So I think that's the direction we go is laying out the stages and the phases of each thing that we're doing and why we're doing it. Game 180, physically and mentally get you back into the groove, get you in the Bible every day, have you a solid morning routine, have you a solid nutrition and physical routine. Now we're making moves.
Yeah, really just creating consistency in that phase.
90 days we do that. After we get done with that 90 days, now this is also something that's happening too, is that those guys are also in their morning routine. They have a piece of the core 4 that's the discover, declare. So then I'm giving them 40 videos to watch over the course of 90 days that are 5 to 7 minutes long. That's teaching them the foundational ways of the Warrior's Way, which is a proven system. I've been playing the games since 2015, and it flat out works for the individuals that work it. And so now I'm just like giving those guys like, hey, listen to this for 5 to 10 minutes, and then declare to me, like text me what you learned. And now these guys are sending me like, okay, this is what I learned today. Now they're starting to like understand like, oh, there's way more than this is fitness and nutrition. Then we move them into the focus game. That focus game, the way that works is we're starting to now, we know our core 4. We know that we live by the code, which is we're just going to tell the truth. We know that we're going to stack, which stacking is a way of questioning the thoughts that you have, but at the same time, you can use it for the Bible stack where we can get into the Bible and learn that way and ask ourselves questions to take the wisdom that we've learned and put it into play. But more than anything, like the stack when it first started was just imagine yourself in a box. You're in a box and you're telling yourself the same stories, the same issues, the same problems, and you're repeating them over and over in your mind. All the stack would do is it would break the frame of making you question the stories and the thoughts that you're telling yourself and look at them differently, whether that's looking at it opposite, whether that's questioning it. And now the stack, we've got the code, we're telling the truth. We got the stack, we got the core four, so we got our mornings taken care of, but we're questioning our thoughts. You've hooked them up with fitness and nutrition stuff that they're going to do, very basic things. And then now what we start to do is we start to get some clarity over the next 90 days of what is the man that you want to become over the next 90 days. Super simple. I'm not going to make it real difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But we're getting clarity on like, okay, what do I want to work towards in my body over this next 90 days? What do I want to work towards in my relationships this next 90 days? What do I want to work towards in my relationship with God this next 90 days? What do I want to work towards in my business this next 90 days? What is it that I want to accomplish? Now, you've got the foundational things, and we piece those foundational things with the 90-day targets that we're working in each area and putting a focus in each area. And what we know is what you focus on is what you get.
Yeah, on my end of that, that's when it gets real fun for me too, because now I've seen like, okay, these guys, they've got some consistency with their checking off their daily tasks. All right, they're starting to eat better. They're starting to get some momentum, and they're starting to see the effects that nutrition and fitness is having on their body. And so then I get fun of, we're starting to, as far as the body side goes, hey, what do you really want to work towards now? And then this is where I can start to really get in depth of, okay, you want to increase your pull-ups? Boom, I'm throwing in stuff like that into their fitness program that's going to help them increase their pull-ups. Oh man, your shoulder's been hurting on any pressing movements that you do. Okay, we got to set some mobility targets that we're going to set some mobility. So we start to really get into detail with this game plan. And then that's when it gets fun too, because then, we start really just getting into depth of the nutrition side of things too. With that next phase, we're tracking protein now, and then we're learning how to track our calories as well. And so we start to, that's where we really start to level up too, because we got to have a certain amount of protein that we're eating every day to get the benefits of the strength training that we're doing, to have the energy that we need to do all these other things and all these other domains in our life. And so, the fitness and nutrition side gets real fun there, because then we're starting to make progress and we're starting to do a lot of the things that we enjoy doing.
So those takes us to the first two phases. I will say this, Josh McGee, client now that's been with us for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
He's signed up for a 90-day program. He came in the Game to 180. His first week in the Game to 180, him and his business partner decided to split ways and go the opposite direction. This dude was ready to tap out. I mean, payment had just went through, and he was ready to tap. Seth, I just don't know how I'm going to be able to get all this done, and time-wise, and like my friend is like, we're separating business-wise, and that's a struggle. Like, there's a lot of stuff. I talked to him yesterday, and he was like, man, these last 2 months were like amazing. And he started to discuss how over this last couple of months is like he had the core four, he had the task, he's had workouts from you, and he's started to progress. And he was like, dude, I thought this last couple of months was going to be horrible, but it was totally different for me. It was because he made a decision. There's a lot of guys that will make a decision that they're going to do something, and then some type of obstacle or resistance starts to pop up, and they throw their hands up and they quit. The other perspective change that we're starting to impact our men with who we work with is like resistance and obstacles means go. Like, if there is some type of resistance or some type of obstacle that's in my way, and I'm working towards something that I really want, that I know that I want, like the results, and there's some type of issue or some type of problem, that's exciting to me because that means that I'm headed in the right direction. That's the exact same thing when it goes to resistance training. If you're loading extra weight on and you're getting down and you get those last 2 to 3 reps are like difficult and you're struggling through it, those are the biggest benefit. Those reps have the biggest benefit than any of the other. Like you could knock out 100 reps of just lightweight, but those 2 or 3 reps that you took action on, like those are what really pays off because you went through it, you learned, you struggled. And then that's the same thing with our problems. Our problems are teaching us a mindset that we need to adopt or a skill set that we need to learn.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a problem that's in front of you, that you're going to have this. Like I look back over the issues and struggles that I've had, and it's like all of them were setting me up to be a better leader. And I just had to, like, I didn't understand it then. I wanted to lead. I wanted to go. I wanted to work. But I had these issues and these problems. They were saying like, hey, bro, just slow down a little bit. You're not ready for that, but you will be ready. I just need to put you in this crock pot for a little bit and let you marinate in this and learn through the problem. And then you'll be ready to rock and roll. Now we've got through 2 phases of a program. The next piece is the impossible game. This one starts getting fun.
Oh, yeah.
The impossible game is like, now we start to get some clarity on who's the man that I want to become at the end of the year. So like a year from now, who's the guy that's standing on the top of the peak that when I look at his results, they seem impossible? That when I look at that guy at the top of the peak, I start to think about, what does that guy do? How's he act? How's he eat? What's he do on a daily basis? How's he perform? Now you start to get like some ideas of like, oh, well, these are this obstacles that are in my way down here at this pit that I'm in. And I'm trying to climb to this peak. Now, a majority of guys will focus only on that impossible. What we start to focus on is like, hey, let's work on what's reasonable right now. Just like we set our clients up, the guys up for in phase 1 with our Game 180, we gave them very, very basic stuff. That's the same thing when it comes to impossible games is we know we're going here, but our first goal is just to start working towards getting it here. And that radical or that reasonable is results are 1 to 2 times your results last year. So for example, if you made $100 last year, then you would try to shoot for $200 this next year. So it's like 1 to 2, or you can stay and say, wouldn't make another 100, whatever. But in like, now we've got like, okay, well, I'm trying to make 200. Okay, well, what has to happen over these next few days, few weeks, few months that are going to get me to this reasonable result? But we do that in our body. We do that in our relationships. We do that in our relationship with God, and we do that in the man we're being, but we also do that in our business as well. Now we've got to our reasonable. Now it starts to go like, okay, I'm making some progress. Then we look at what's radical, what's 3 to 5 times. Here's the struggles that I see with guys is they're playing way too small.
Mm-hmm.
They would never set a target that is 10 times what they are right now. Why?
Scared.
No way they can make it, they think.
Yep.
Can't get that done.
Scared to fail.
A majority of guys will set their yearly targets as reasonable targets.
Mm-hmm.
Though in 3 or 4 months of the year, they'll hit their reasonable target. And then they'll throw their hands up, celebrate,
and coast the rest of the year.
Go back to the old version of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go back in the next year.
Reset that reasonable target all over again.
Yeah, you just do this circle of this karmic cul-de-sac of the same thing over and over again, never growing, never getting better. The only problem is like we're getting older, we're more beat up, we got more issues, more
Mm-hmm.
struggles with like things like that. It's like continue to make the same mistakes over and over with. And so you're not going to know necessarily what radical 3 to 5 times of where you are right now. You're not necessarily going to know that right now. We know where we want to go 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
We know the facts from where we are right now. Reasonable, hit that. Radical. Best way I like to explain radical is like with the Bible study we started at the Vitality Mill was, reasonable for me back in 2023, 2024, 2024.
Yep.
Reasonable for me was, hey, I need to go to a Bible study. Why? Because impossible was I'm going to run an online Bible study. Like, did not seem possible. But I showed up at this reasonable and said, hey, I'm going to make it for the next month to this Bible study. I'm going to learn. Then the next piece is like, okay, well, what's radical? What am I going to set up here? How am I going to do this? How are we going to put? And then next thing you know, radical will just show up usually. It'll just kind of like, kind of the direction you need to go. But it like the path starts to open up where you start to see. It's almost like having the mud wiped out your eyes. And you're just like, okay, now I've hit this piece. I've climbed up here. Oh, what's next? Oh, well, that's that next little jaunt I need to go up. That I'm going up that next piece, that radical. And that's when Isaac came to me and said, hey, it was just weird. It was just like happened how weird. It's not weird. God was moving, but
yeah.
Then he comes to me and says, hey, I would like to start a Bible study for men inside the Vitality Mill and do it once a month and have a workout right after it. And I'm like, I'm game. We did that. We started that a year ago.
Yep.
Now it's 2 times a month that we're putting it in. And so my point in that is like, oftentimes you're never going to know what's the path to get there, but it's still having the vision that you want to get there. And if you don't have that vision of what it is that you want, the man that you want to become, and you're only focused on these 1 to 2 times results, like reasonable results, then your results are always going to be reasonable. I want impossible. Like this Friday at 7 a.m., I'm stepping into that online Bible experience that I've created. Because why? Because I said I was going to do it. I have no clue what's on the other side of this. No clue. I know that I've invested 1,000 something more than that because I've had staff and individuals helping me work on it. But I know just ads, I've invested at least $1,100 over the course of the last three weeks. With I'm not getting anything from. I'm just doing what I know that my calling is, what God has asked me to do. I don't know what's on the other side of it. Struggled with it because like I don't want it to be a business thing where it's like I'm doing this for business. I don't want to do it for business. I want to do it to help guys. But at the same time, I know that I'm stepping into this game where people are going to question me and question everything. It's like I just got to take action on what it is. So the impossible side of it is like that's when life starts to get fun. We've got we got the Warrior app we're putting guys in, so now they're tracking their core 4. They're following and they're hitting their stacks. They're on top of that. This is where they start to learn the door and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So and that's what do you want to throw in there? Yeah.
Man, I think just the level system that it creates is, like you talked about, it's super daunting when you look at that impossible goal. And guys are scared to aim too high because they don't want to, I failed. And then they don't want to feel that at all. So they set these things that they know that they can achieve. But sometimes we got to set targets where it's like, bro, I don't know if I'll be able to do this, but I'm still going to set it out because I know I got a system that works and that can help me build to get to that point. And that's what I love about the system that we do inside the Warrior app is, we have those big targets, but then we have ways where we know we can get to that based off of what we do on a daily basis and on a weekly basis. So every week we're sitting down doing our general's tent, and I'm building out my week, and I know, okay, I'm going to do this on Monday. I'm going to do this on Tuesday. I'm going to do this on Wednesday. And then you see yourself drag it into that achieved box, and it just creates that momentum. But it's like just seeing yourself do that, like, man, I'm winning. And just to be able to see those things that you can win every single day. Every day we have to have wins, or else we're wasting time. If we're going day by day and we're like, man, I don't know what I did today. But we have Monday through Sunday. We know what we're going to be doing that day. And what's cool about it is all of it is in those 4 domains that we're working on and that we're trying to do. So that way, I'm leveling up my body, but I'm also leveling up my my faith side of things. I'm also leveling up my business. And so all those areas are making progress. And that's what's going to allow us to have that launch pad to get us to where we want to go.
I should probably explain. I had a guy a couple of years ago. We were going through Impossible Game, and he was kind of on the fence. Why would I want to play a game that's impossible for me to win? I'm like, no, man, you're looking at it all wrong. It's called the Impossible Game because the version of you right now, the man that you are at the pit of where you are at right now, it's impossible for you to become that man that's sitting at the peak. Mm-hmm. This is why we start guys through basic changes when it comes to Game the 180 and the focus game, is getting them to create change and getting them to start to shift and move. The reason why we're doing that is because it starts to change their perspective. They start to learn things. They start to see progress. They start to believe the man that they're becoming. And then it starts to open up a new, this would be something I want to work towards. So by no means are we trying to create targets that are impossible for us to hit. Like, a lot of them are possible, but we're doing it across the board because in each domain we have 4 targets in each of the 4 domains. So we have 16 targets that we're actually working towards inside of. So like for me, for example, body, I want to be able to do the impossible is a dragon squat and a skater squat, and be able to do those back to back and not have any issues doing those. That would tell me my mobility, my flexibility, my strength, and my legs are getting to where I want to be. The other one is I want to be below 10% body fat. The reason for that is because that means I'm becoming more athletic. I'm being able to move, feel better. Then I have that I want to be able to walk on my handstand. I do a handstand walk. That's going to mean that my shoulder mobility is improved. That means that I've dropped weight, I'm leaner, and I can move my body easier. This is like an everything. And then the last piece was my hair. I wanted to grow my hair back. And I get like that. Like when I say that, guys are like, like, what are you going to do? How are you going to do this? And so like, I go and I start to research. Here's some stuff I'm going to throw in. One, I'm hired a nutrition coach and a fitness coach right now that's helping me repair my body and not make me as stressed. So now that piece is going to help. Mm-hmm. I bought some like special shampoo stuff. That stuff's going to help. Also trying some different peptides that are going to help me as well. And so, like right now it seems like crazy. Obviously Christian's like, he kind of laughs about it because he's got a full head of hair and he's like, but like that though is like, yeah, I second guess whether it can happen or not, but I know I'm taking the actionable steps. Imagine if I walk in at the end of this year and my hair's here.
Yeah.
And I'm on this podcast, I'm telling you what I'm going to do. And then you see me and you see my hair and you're like, damn, dude, what'd you do? Did you go and get hair implants or something like that? It's like, no, I made little tweaks. And the next thing you know, it's happening. So, I mean, that's what it's all about is having that vision of yourself that you're wanting to become, and then having that and understanding that everything's possible and anything's possible when we're executing and we're bringing God in the mix as far as that stuff goes too. So,
I love the strength training analogy that you put on it though, man. Cause yeah, like say you first start working out, those 15-pound dumbbells are heavy. You're benching those dumbbells like, man, this is tough. Like, yeah, you couldn't go grab those hundreds right now, but if you follow a plan and you do it long enough, or those 120 with a band,
yeah.
But if you get a game plan put together and you follow that long enough and you do all the other things, not just the workout side of things, but you hit your protein, you do all these other things and you have a clear game plan of how you're going to get to that. Yeah, right now you couldn't do that physically. But if you keep putting in the progress, keep putting in the work in to do it, you can eventually get to those 100-pound dumbbells. And so I love that analogy that you put on it, man, because that's exactly how all these other areas in our life works.
But this makes life fun. You walk in, you were lifting the 15-pound dumbbells, and then you move from the 15s, you hit the 15s, you hit the 25s, you hit the 30s, you hit the 35s, and then you move down to the second row.
Yep.
And now you got the 40s, the 45s, the 50s, the 55s, the 60s. Then you knock those out and you're like, oh man, I'm making progress. Did it happen yesterday? Did it happen in 2 or 3 days? No, but you know where you started at.
Yep.
The individuals around you know where you started at.
Keeps you showing up.
Then
too.
you go to that third where you're like, now you're going to the 70s, the 80s, the 100s. And now it's like you've become this man. Like before, when you started with the 15s, you weren't that guy. You were just trying to get to that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have become this man. This is who you are. It's an identity shift. And so the guys I surround myself with, I want to push. Like I want men to surround. When I walk into a room, I want to walk in and people just see me physically the way I walk in, not doing anything crazy. Just when I walk in, they go like, damn, what's that dude doing?
Mm-hmm.
But then when I speak with confidence and certainty. That when I live my life, I'm living it thinking about how I'm making my steps and am I improving and am I becoming the man that God created me to be? Am I walking like Jesus and trying to treat people better and trying to do the right things? Am I getting in the Bible and doing these things? Then on the other side of that is how is my family life? How's that impacted? And then my career, my business, and like, what am I doing? And who am I surrounding myself with? Like, that's what fires me up more than anything is like, I want to be a weapon, and I want to be weaponized mentally. I want to be weaponized physically. I want to be weaponized by my faith in Christ. I want to be weaponized in my relationships where my wife and my son be like, damn, that's my dad. That's my husband. I'm so proud of all the things that he's done and the man he's become. And show them what's possible. But then also in business, like I want to talk about marketing, advertising, leadership, whatever you want to speak on, I can speak on it because I knew that I had a weakness that was a skill set and a mindset that I needed to improve on. Instead of throwing my hands up like the majority of men will do, I said, you know what? I'm willing to look stupid. I'm willing to create a podcast that nobody may listen to. I'm willing to do a live video. I'm willing to do reels. I'm willing to put out posts that nobody wants to interact with. Awesome. Because when I continue to show up and then everything, and I push this big domino over and everybody starts to see the results on the other side of it, they're going to wonder, how the hell did he do that? And then they're going to see like, oh, well, that dude did never stop. He was getting one like from his wife. And he was getting 15 to 100. It don't matter about that. Like, I'm going to do the work regardless. I want this dude to the right of me. He's going to do the work regardless. I'm only going to surround myself with men who can raise their hand and say, hey, I don't know it all. Drop my ego. And I need some assistance and some help. And that's all we want to do is we want to take you through that game to 180, get some physically, mentally, and spiritually, make you start changing your perspective and your results. Get you into the focus game so you can start to see that you're getting results and we can start to change your focus and start to learn the game. Then we can put it into play fully at the impossible game. And the last piece is this life game. The individuals I surround myself with, I want to do life with. And so like if you've seen the results that you got from the impossible game, then why the heck would you want to stop? Let's continue. And then we reset that next year. We go in, we have our quarterly, we reset our targets, and we take action from there.
Yeah. And by that point, man, you've been around all those guys. You guys have created a brotherhood together. You're in communication. You're in contact with each other. So then like something that even going into that next year, setting your targets, something you thought, okay, I think that this is probably going to be my impossible goal, but your brother's seen what you're capable of and he might push you to another level. Like, nah, bro, you're capable of this. And then vice versa. You know, you can help push somebody else in that area. But by that point, y'all all have put in the work together. You love and respect each other on another level, and you guys just keep leveling each other up from there. And by that point, man, you're winning with all of your brothers. And so it's it's something that I'm blessed to be a part of for sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Then the last thing that I was going to close out on is what you start to create too. Is I remember when I was first getting into the GA, and you were like, bro, I know all this stuff that I'm talking about seems like dude, I can't. Because with me, I coach at the gym. I got to work out myself. I got my wife I got to, tend to. I got all these other things. And I'm like, dude, I don't think I have time to do all this.
Story.
You're like, yep, exactly right. You said, tell yourself another story. And you said, one of the biggest things you told me was like, all of that you got on your plate right now, you feel like I don't have any more room that I can put on it, but you've got a lot of things on your plate that actually aren't serving you. And so then what I would slowly do is I would slowly take those pieces. You started me in the core four and you said, bro, just do this.
Yep.
And I would take some things off of my plate that it really wasn't serving me, and I put the core areas onto my plate. Okay. I start to have some more room to work with. And then you add another piece to me and you add another piece. So the way that the way the system's built out, it makes it to where you start to show yourself, okay, I'm getting all these other things I don't need on my plate. I'm putting the things that actually matter. And now, like, I have all this on my plate, and my plate's actually this big.
Yeah, you get
this is way more capacity. And then that was the biggest game changer for me. And now I couldn't imagine doing life without it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like you've continued to see it through where other individuals have jumped in and they might just get started with the very basic. And you're like, oh, this is good, man. I appreciate you allowing me to just start with this first couple of steps. And I'm like,
bro, you're dipping your toe in it. You don't even like.
You're already done. Like you're good. And this story of like, I'm good, I've got it down already, I don't need any help. Those dudes are going to be stuck because your ego does not allow you to just start to release your grasp to see what you can actually grab onto. The way I like to explain this is it's like Jesus having this big bear, and he has it behind his back, and there's this little girl that he's wanting to give this big bear to, and she has just a little small bear that's all like beat up and dirty, and she's holding on to it, and she does not want to give him the bear. And he's like, with one hand, he's got one hand out trying to take the bear from her, and then behind his back, the other, he's got something bigger and better for her. And he wants to give her this, but she won't let go of the what's good. And that's the biggest lesson I want to get across to you today is like, if you are just going through what feels good and this good place and you're just good with that, then you might as well stop listening to this podcast because it's not for you. You know and what you're capable of, and you know that you're leaving a lot more in the tank. But with the same intensity that Christian was just talking about, where there's a negative, there's always a positive. Yeah, he wakes up early. Yeah, he's got all kinds of other stuff on his plate. Yeah, he's got this and that. I got to do this, and I can't do this, and I got to put this off. But what happened was his awareness to be able to go like, hey, you know what? Like, just lead me and point me in the right direction and let me figure it out. And then he starts to gain more capacity, starts to put the things into play, and then starts to change the mindset of like, oh, this is who I am. This is what I do. And now once we change that, there's 4 phases that we talk about. That is like the first phase is I got to wake guys up. I got to slap them upside the head. I got to throat punch them. I got to say things to them to like that make them go like, oh, he's like talking to me. They wake up. Once they wake up, then we get to this next piece. This next piece is take a knee. That means now we start to build a relationship with God. God's going to start calling you into a place that he wants you to go. And you've got to submit, meaning you got to take a knee and say like, hey, point me in the right direction and guide me. I'm ready. I'm taking a knee. I know that my past has not worked like it should, and I'm just going to take a knee right now. Now, once we take a knee, then we can have it all. Have it all process is like now we've gone into the impossible game. Now we've climbed to that peak, and we've got to the peak, and then we have it all. And then this is the next piece, is the freedom side of it, is to let go. And so I've seen it over and over again. Guys climb to the peak, and when they get to the peak, they want to just marinate at the peak and just chill at the peak. Me and the guys I work with, we're going back down into the pit. So we're going to let go of what we just had, that great results we just had. We're going to look at, we're going to go, what else needs to change? What do I need to do now? What's the next step? And we reset, and we set a new peak, a new impossible game. We don't fall to the depths of our former pit that was back here. What we do is we climb to the peak, We drop down into a pit, with smaller pit, but we go up to a higher peak. And so it's just like that every year. It's like, that's why I'm like, when I change, it's like, I'm not the same dude. You know me. Like, I'm not the same dude I was a month ago.
Nope.
I'm not the same dude I was 2 weeks ago. Like, I'm continuing to work on myself and continuing to change. And it's not just me, it's him, it's all the guys I surround myself with. And if they don't, and they're not changing, and they're not trying to, then, but just as fast as I brought them in, I'll remove them, just because, like, I'm going to surround myself with guys that are going to do the work. So that's what the Grill Alliance is about. That's where we start with the Gain to 180. Very, very basic. Right now, it might not be that you're interested in Gain to 180. Then what I would invite you in is, we have our Relentless Faith Bible experience. This is just a free, let you come in, let you experience the Bible stack, let you get around other men, find different perspectives. At the same time, we can get in the Word. We can find wisdom from the Word that we could put into work, and create a life from the foundational wisdom that's in the Bible, and put that to work, so our results are on another level. And that could be the phase that you just start, is like, hey, I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to come in every Friday. I'm going to do their work. That's going to be Friday at 7 a.m. Central Time. It's all done online. And yeah, you can go to my bio, Seth.P.Humphrey on Instagram. If you go to my bio, you're going to see the Bible stack. You can click the link in my bio, go to the Bible stack, download that, put your name, put your email, phone number in. We're going to start alerting you on we're going to send you the Bible stack and how to use it, but we're also going to start alerting you about the Relentless Faith Bible experience that starts this week, April 4th at 7 a.m. Central Time, and we'll be running it forever. I'm not quitting. So
yeah, it's been a long time coming, man.
Yeah, I'm excited
for it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to get it. Ready to get it rolling. You always will look at things and start to try to, how's this going to work? How's this going to work? I just know that I'll step into it and release my grasp and let God do what he's supposed to do as far as that goes. And it'll all work out how it's supposed to. So,
yeah.
You have anything else you want to add?
Man, I think we touched on it all. I mean, it's really, I mean, if anybody's watching this, it's just taking action, man, whether it be doing the Bible, the Bible experience first, or jumping into the game of 180, but you're watching this for a reason. You know that you need to take action, and it's just crazy, man. You talking about just the level system that we talked about here, and I'm living it right now, and I'm seeing the proof. The proof is in it, and so yeah, we definitely want other guys to take action on it and be able to live it and live a life that they love.
Well, the last piece is, it's like the app, like the Warrior app, like that's basically a standard operating procedure for life inside that app. Like everything I have is inside
your
that
whole
app.
life's organized in it.
Yeah, and so that's a big piece of it as well too. It's got our yearly targets, got our core 4, got our stacks, got notes in there, got our door, got our hot list, our hit list, like so much of it. It's all right there. So then, yeah, it's just it's powerful all the way across the board. I'm grateful to be able to do it, and it's one of those things that my weakness is not. Has been not sharing it with more men, but now we're doing that through the podcast, and then we're going to be able to share a little bit more of the Relentless Faith Bible experience on just what we do on a daily basis, and go from there. So by no means am I going to be pitching anything on the Relentless Faith Bible experience. It's just getting you into my world and allowing you to start to experience like the things that have changed the way I read the Bible, and the way that you've read the Bible, the way the 10th grade young men that we mentor read the Bible, and then the rest of it lands and works out how it's supposed to. So, anything you want to else add for you? Then you want to give your handle on Instagram? We'll go from there.
Yeah, my Instagram is bootrains6, so boo_trains6.
All right. So for Christian and for myself, we appreciate you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, shoot me a message. And if you don't mind, if it's something that you're finding a benefit, give me a review, a 5-star, preferably, and we'll go from there. We appreciate you guys. Have a fantastic. This is a